there, welcome to my knitting room. If you're new here, and there are quite a few of you that are new around here, I'm going to try and do a sort of professional introduction. It's already going really well. My name is Melissa. I am Stitches Be Slippin on Instagram and Blue Sky. Yeah, this is the Stitches Be Slippin YouTube channel / podcast where I talk about all the things I make. I knit a lot, I crochet, I dabble in lots of different crafty type things because I have ADHD and I get distracted very easily. So that was pretty good. Oh, and then I completely lost my train of thought already. Okay, so get used to that. Two other things that you should probably know about me before we move forward in this relationship. I do quite enjoy some spicy language, so if you don't also enjoy that, I don't need that kind of negativity. And this may not be the place for you. This is also not the place for anyone who wants to spread conspiracy theories, who wants to spread hate, who wants to take away anyone's human rights, etc. Anything that would be referred to as woke by the right wing type people is something I'm into, because woke is a dog whistle for kindness and empathy. So yeah, anyway, hello, welcome to my knitting room if you're still here. Yeah, let's do this. I am going to talk your ear off a little bit today. It's been quite a while since my last podcast, but there was some holidays in there, and I made another video all about this little baby back here, this Sweet Shop blanket. So if you haven't checked that out, you can go check it out if you want to. A lot of people have checked it out already, so thank you so much if you went and watched it, gave it a like, gave it a comment, shared it with somebody else. It is like massive by thousands, my best performing video on YouTube, that's for sure. So I hope it is helping. I hope it is inspiring people to make their own, because it's just so much fun to make. That is the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose, if you're interested. Yeah, so thanks everyone for watching that. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna talk a lot about knitting, so I'm gonna put a little timestamp down here for my brother, who doesn't like listening about the knitting and he just wants to listen about my personal life and all that kind of stuff. So I will put a little timestamp down here for my brother, so he can skip ahead and not watch all the interesting stuff. So, okay, for those of you who are into knitting, let's talk about this. That's correct. That is 2 sleeves and a finished object, bitches. For those of you who've been around for a while will recognize that this is the Market Henley by Claire Jackson, who is Perfectly Knotted on Instagram. I will put the link to the pattern below. I will put everything down below. If I mention anything, designers, yarn, makers, whatever, I will put all that down below. I have been told before that my show notes are spectacular. So, if you're new here, you're welcome. Oh man, I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do today, I think. Okay, so the Market Henley, she's done. Thank you, thank you. I hear all your applause, thank you. Yeah, I whined and complained and did all the things, procrastinating. I did all the things except knitting the stupid sleeves. And on my last episode, I actually like annoyed myself with how much I was whining about not wanting to knit the sleeves. And I kind of like shamed myself into just fucking doing it. So I picked it up. The body has been done for months. And I just was like, I have this massive mental block in my head. I don't like knitting sleeves in general. Everyone knows this. But fingering weight sleeves in particular, I just like have this mental block where like it's gonna take forever and blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing really. The stitch pattern is super easy. I knit the body pretty quickly for a fingering weight textured sweater. So I don't know what the hell was my problem, but like I said, I picked it up and I knit both sleeves in like 3 days and then it was done. And yeah, I'm an idiot, but I have a beautiful new sweater to wear. It turned out really, really nicely. I used, this is what I have left. This is, excuse me, Sonder Yarn Company in Sunday Morning 4-ply, which is a 75 BFL and 25 Masham, and then it's a non-superwash. And it can be a little bit prickly or toothy or whatever when you're knitting with it. So every time I knit with this yarn, as I'm knitting the pattern, as I'm like in the middle of the project, I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then I'm like, okay, just keep going and block it. And like it blocks out and it's nice and it's drapey as heck and it's so nice. I highly recommend trying the Sonder just the Sonder yarn in general. Yeah, I really love it. The colorway is called Whale Watching, and I finished it. I got some tiny little plastic buttons at Polka Dot Creek. She has like multiple jars full of buttons that you can dig through and pick. What was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, I saw a friend at the Creekside Yarn Festival last weekend. I'll talk about that later. But she was also wearing this same top that she had made. And she had the buttons done up. And I was like, wow, I haven't seen anyone wear one with the buttons done up. And she said she put clay buttons on there and then it would just like flop. So unless she had the buttons done up, they would just like flop over. So hot tip, if you're making this, use really light buttons to put on. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to talk forever and ever about it. It's a finished object. I quite enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, like, the stitch pattern is really easy. The pattern was really, really easy to follow. The fact that it took me forever to make it is absolutely not a reflection on the pattern whatsoever. It was a very good pattern. I just was like stupid, and it is very, very knittable. And you can knit it fairly quickly if you aren't stupid. Okay, moving on. Did I say we were in FOs? I think I did, but we're in FOs. FOs, finished objects. Okay, so my next finished object is I finished my husband's socks for Christmas. These are just like vanilla socks. I cranked the main skein of self-striping into a tube, and then I cut in the toes, heels, and cuffs, and used a couple different minis for that. So this yarn is the Seattle Seahawks colorway, self-striping colorway from Polka Dot Creek, and that set comes with a brown for the mini because it's a football team, so the brown is for the football. But I got a navy mini and a limeade mini from Polka Dot Creek as well, because these are for my husband who coaches our kids in hockey, and the Seahawks colors are my kids' team's colors as well. So he was very happy when he got them, and he wore them to the first game after Christmas and they won, and I was like, yes. And then they lost after that, so I guess they're not a good luck charm. Anyway, so I finished those, And then I finished another pair of socks for my brother-in-law. His birthday was in the beginning of January. And so I've made him socks before and I never really knew if he wore them or not. And then a few months ago, he sent me a text with a picture of his feet wearing the socks that I had knit him and asked if he could have another pair because he loves them. So I did make him another pair. I have a bunch of cranked tubes in like a little basket in my giant shelving unit over there. Just waiting for if someone wants a pair of socks, then I can just cut in heels and toes and the cuffs, and it's very quick. I have a circular sock machine if you're wondering how I'm cranking those tubes. And yeah, anyway, I had a tube of Wool Baron self-striping. I'm not sure what the name of the colorway is because it was all cranked and I don't know where the tags are, but I'll put a picture up here. I'm pretty sure I took a picture of them before I gifted them. So those were the socks, and I can't even remember right now what minis I used. They were just minis I had in my stash. I think there was a brown one, and that was, that might have actually been the football color from the Seattle Seahawks colorway from Polka Dot Creek. And I can't remember what other color, but it was just a mini that I had in my stash. So that was good. And then I made one more gift knit just before Christmas. My son, who is in diving, his coach, my son is in diving, and on the last day or last weekend before Christmas, they had a party, and we were like so flustered and trying to remember everything for the party, we forgot to bring her gift. And I was just going to give her a gift card. And then because I was burnt out on gift knitting. And then after that, I was like, okay, well, now I have time because we had like 2 weeks before I went back to knitting or back to diving. So I knit her a hat really quickly. I had a skein of, what is it called again? Sweet fiber yarn. And it was just like a dark charcoal gray black in her merino cashmere base, and I used that to make a Jake beanie. And I did not take a picture of it before I gifted it to her because I'm dumb again. I'll put a picture up here of the Jake beanie, the like picture from Ravelry, and I highly recommend making this. It's a very quick gift knit. It's a worsted weight. Well, she has different instructions for different gauges, so you can use different weights of yarn. So I used a worsted weight and it knit up really fast. Fits really nicely. If you look on the Jake Beanie hashtag on Instagram, there's lots and you can see how it fits. It's actually quite nice and quick. Anyway, so I highly recommend that one. And my other two finished objects are also gift knits. So I wasn't burnt out completely, I guess. So I've been gift knitting for a while, for a few podcasts, for 2 babies that are expected right away. One of them's here, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The other one is, these are 2 ladies that my husband works with, that I know / am friends with. And so I wanted to make them something nice. One of them is a knitter and a tech editor, so I wanted to make her something extra nice. I made a sweater. I made a Mountain Mist baby sweater. I made 2 of them. One of them is garbage, but one of them is good. So neither of these ladies knew what sex of the baby they were having. So I was trying to stick to gender neutrals. Anyway, I made that sweater and I was like, it's not really enough. I kind of want to make something else. And I was watching the Knitty Stew podcast. If you haven't ever checked out Leanne, she knits beautiful things, and go check out her podcast. She's lovely. And she was talking about this pattern and posted a picture of it and said that she was going to knit it for a baby that was coming in her life. And so that's what I did. Isn't he cute? Oh, it's so cute. This pattern is called Little Bear by Melody Hoffman, I think. Again, I'll put the link down below. And it was super fun to knit, and I learned a new technique. So this little nose is knit using intarsia in the round. So I learned how to knit intarsia last summer when I made the Moon Crush tank, and that was intarsia knitting flat, and I had no problem with that. Everyone's scared of intarsia, but it's really not that hard. You just have to twist your yarns and off you go. I had never knit intarsia in the round. And my understanding of intarsia in the round was like having multiple bobbins of yarn hanging off of your project, because you would knit and then pick up the bobbin that was hanging off here and then knit across here and then pick up that bobbin and knit around and whatever. And that is not, excuse me, that is not the technique that was used in this pattern. It was using the same strand of yarn, but knitting in the round. And I don't know how much of it is her own technique. I'm not sure, I haven't really looked into it, but it was very interesting. It was a little confusing at first, but once I understood the concept, it was actually pretty fun to knit. And then I embroidered the little nose and the mouth and the eyes, and I'm pretty sure I put this eye higher than this eye, but oh well. And the yarn I used was just all yarn that I had in stash. This is a worsted weight, like farm yarn. I can't remember where I got this yarn. Might have been when I went to Knit City Mini in Vancouver. But it is from a farm in Manitoba called Ferme Fiola Farm, I think is what it's called. I'll put a link down below. I bought a sweater quantity of it and knit a whole sweater with it. And the label has like the name of the sheep that the wool is from, and it was really lovely. And this, I think, is some yarn I had from Custom Woolen Mills, which is a mill here in Alberta. And I don't know what the content is. Anyway, it's really cute. So this baby is not here yet. This baby is coming in the beginning of February, I think. And the other baby arrived last weekend, and I wasn't sure what I was going to give this baby. Like I said, I made 2 Mountain Mist sweaters, and one of them I wasn't happy with. And then I was just like, I'm just going to wait and see what they have, and then I can like make something I'm happy with. And they had a girl, and her name is Billy. And immediately I was like, I need to make a girly something, because I have 2 boys and I never get to knit for girls. And yeah, so when they sent the picture, they sent an email around the work people, and they sent the picture of little Billy, like all swaddled and whatever, and like with no hat on her head. And I was like, that baby needs a hat. I'm gonna make a baby Musselburgh, done. So I went through my stash. I was like, I know I'm not gonna need a ton of yarn for it. And I found a couple of different colors that I liked and I couldn't choose, so I did both. So this is the little baby Musselburgh, and the camera's making it a little bit cooler. I don't know if you can, anyway. This is a really, really, really light wash pinky purple. And then this is a like variegated speckly type. This one was from Yarn Ink, I know that. I have no idea what color. I've had this for years. And this one was a mini, but it weighed like 25 grams, I think. So I used all of this. So this is 25 grams, and then this was 25 grams. And oh, it's super cute. And super fast. I knit it in like 24 hours. So if you haven't seen a Musselburgh before, you're probably wondering how you wear this as a hat. Pretty much all of you have seen a Musselburgh before, but you just open up that tube a little bit and stick 1/2 inside the other half. Got it all in there. Okay, so you can wear it like this if you want, or you can fold up the brim. And so that's where the half and half comes in. So they can wear it with the pink on the top and the speckle on the bottom, which I think is adorable. This is how I'm gonna wrap it because I think that is the correct way. Or you can take that out and put the pink in the side. I don't know why I'm showing you all this. You've all seen this a million times, but it's just so fun. So they can wear it like this, or they can roll it up. Oh, this is really cute too, with the speckles on the top and the pink around the brim. That's really cute. Anyway, it's adorable. And it looks really big when I'm holding it back there, but it's tiny. It kind of looks a little big. Anyway, this is the baby size. So if you haven't made a muscle bra by Isolde Teague, I highly recommend. She has multiple sizes, multiple gauges, and it is just super, super versatile. So highly recommend that. I'm calling it my baby bra. And then my last FO, I've been making lots of little things. Been following the dopamine and just casting on little things and then finishing them and just feeling the rush. Anyway, the last thing that I made, I can't even remember why I decided to make this, but I was trying to decide something to cast on and I didn't feel like knitting a sweater at the time. And I had this yarn, I think I showed it either on the last podcast or the podcast before, and it is Fiber Goddess, who is a local dyer here, and this is it's called I Miss You Vancouver, and it is a colorway inspired by Vancouver, obviously, because they didn't have a Knit City Vancouver last year, and she has vended at all of the Knit City Vancouvers. And a group of dyers who have also always vended there. In September when the show would have been, they all dyed I Miss You Vancouver colorways. And this was Jen's. And I thought it was beautiful. So I got it. I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. And then inspiration struck and I searched my stash and I found I had this gray mohair. I think it was Frankie Gray. I have a whole bunch of Frankie Gray fibers mohair. And I held those together and made a Parkview hat. Parkview? I always want to say Parkdale, but I think it's Parkview hat by Tracy Miller. So the mohair is by Jody, Frankie Gray Fibers, who is half of the Grocery Girls. And the pattern is by Tracy Miller, who is the other half of the Grocery Girls. And the gray speckle is by Fiber Goddess. So it's a very easy pattern to make. I made the adult small, but I didn't swatch and I seem to have not exactly been on gauge because it's a little big for me. I don't know if I should wreck my hair, but it's a little, it looks pretty cute. I'm an idiot. Okay, anyway, it looks really cute. So it's a nice little, it's got mohair and so it'll keep your head nice and warm. And anyway, as I was knitting it, I was like, this yarn is beautiful. It's so gorgeous. And I was kicking myself for not ordering more. It's a beautiful gray base and it's got blue and green and like mustard and red, and it's got just so many beautiful speckles in there. So if she ever decides to make more, I'm definitely gonna buy more because I kind of want to make a whole sweater out of it. But then I also was thinking, well, I have this much left. Which is, I don't know, quite a bit. And I started, after I finished that, I was like, well, maybe I'll make myself some mittens. So I started making just the world's simplest mittens by Tin Can Knits, which is my go-to mitten pattern. It's free. It has a million sizes. It has different gauges, so you can use fingering, DK, worsted. And so I started making those. And then I kind of petered out. a little bit. Then I was like, I feel like making something else. So maybe I'll finish it, maybe I won't. It's still, like, I love the yarn, it's beautiful. And then I was thinking maybe this probably could be considered gender neutral because it's gray with a bunch of different speckles. So I could also use this for another baby muscle bra for the other baby, but I don't know. I think I've already knit quite a bit for that other baby. So anyway, my brain's all over the place. And that is the end of my FOs. What should we talk about next? I mean, whips, that's the next logical progression. Okay, whips. I've talked about my blanket on here before, haven't I? I'm trying to remember how much I talked about this blanket on my last podcast, if I talked about it. I know that I said which blanket I was making. I am making the Hygge Burst blanket by Not a Crawl Crochet. Can't remember what her name is, something Crawl. I'll put a picture of the pattern up here of the blanket sample. And it is my Taylor Swift Eras blanket. So at Knit City Calgary last year, Jody and Frankie Gray Fibers had a giant booth, and they brought all of their Taylor Swift yarn. They have a whole line of Taylor Swift yarn, and all of the colorways are inspired by her album covers. And so I bought every single one knowing I was going to make a Taylor Swift blanket. So there are 11 albums. So I have 11 album colorways, and the 12th colorway is the Eras Tour colorway. So I'm doing it. Did I mention it's crochet? I don't know if I mentioned. It's a crocheted granny square blanket. It's a specific type of granny square called the Sunburst granny square. I'm so sorry, I can't remember if I showed this before. So the first album was her debut album. It was just called Taylor Swift, so people call it Debut. And I'll show you in my acquisitions, but I got a granny square blocker for Christmas because I asked for it. I actually sent my husband a link and was like, yeah, please. So yeah, this is the debut album, and this is Fearless. So good. And then the rest of these are unblocked. I can only block so many at a time. So I'm making, I do remember talking about this. I am doing 9 squares of each color. There are 12 colors, so it'll be 9 by 12. And then the joining, I'll do the joining with like an undyed yarn. So I've got all my squares done for both of these. I've got all my squares done for Speak Now. See, look at the difference between blocked and unblocked, right? Blocking is magic, people, magic. Okay, so that was Debut, Fearless, Speak Now. Speak Now is gorgeous. Look at all those pinks and purples. Oh, I love it so much. This is red. And even though it doesn't look super red, like it's a lot of beiges and like dusty reds, it is like they absolutely nailed it with the album covers. Hopefully I will go back in time and post, like, I'm having trouble talking today. Hopefully I'll go back and put up pictures of the album covers as I hold them up so that you can see, like, they just nailed it. So that's red. I've got all those ones done. This is 1989. I've got all those ones done. And this one, they just, oh my God, they did such a good job. there's like teeny tiny little red speckles. Every once in a while, I don't know how they speckled it so lightly. There's one there. But yeah, they nailed that one for sure. There's one little one down there. So good. 1989. And I just finished all my Reputation squares. So good. So good. And so that means my next color is Lover. And holy shit, you guys. It's beautiful. It is just like, I stop every 5 seconds and just admire it. It's so beautiful. And this is not doing it any justice. This just doesn't, looks like, it's so good. Let me show you. This is the first block. Oh my God, I don't even know how they did this. There's so many colors in here. There's mint greens and creams and like corally peach and like bright pink and light pink and like a little bit of purple. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, I love it so much. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, I've got 3 of those done. And so this is my 7th colorway that I am working on. So I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 more left after this one and then joining. And it's really fun. I'm having a lot of fun crocheting it. Like I did with my Sweet Shop blanket, I just work on it at night. I get like 1 or 2 blocks done every night while we watch TV before we go to bed. So it's like no pressure. I just get them done whenever. It's not like I need to sit and make them all like immediately. It's not a race. That project is living in, I was like, well, might as well. This is from when Jody was a bag maker, Mrs. Brown's Bags. This is one of her bags from way back when. So I figured, well, might as well just, Jody made all the yarn, I might as well put it in one of her bags. So yeah, that's my Taylor Swift blanket. I'm very excited about it. I haven't decided on the layout yet, if I want to like just random assign them or if I want to do a row of each album. The like must organize everything part of my brain really wants me to do 1 row of every album, and that's probably what I'll do, but it would look really nice if they were all mixed together too. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, my next FO, or not FO, it's not FO. My next whip, you guys have not seen, I don't think. And I've already sort of abandoned it. Not abandoned it, it's just like patiently waiting for me to come back to it. But it's also beautiful. So I bought this yarn. I don't think I have a full skein of it anymore. They're all wound up. I bought this yarn at Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle last summer. And it is from Lavender Loon Yarn Company. And the color is called Bellatrix. Can't see it on that tag. Uh-oh. Yeah, Bellatrix. And it is 70% baby alpaca, 7% wool, and 23% recycled nylon. So it is a DK to bulky yarn. It's 284 yards for 100 grams. And it is scrumptious. It is so soft. It's basically like a DK weight Surrey, like Surrey. You know, you can get like lace weight Surrey to hold together with fingering weight or whatever. This is a DK weight, so you can knit with it on its own. And it's just scrumptious. So I bought it to make the Nebula by Andrea Mowry, and that is what I'm doing. It's on short cables because that's how I like to knit. Let me see if I can get a needle stopper on here. I don't know if I can put it on both, but So, I mean, there's not much to show you. It's a bottom-up sweater. So I've knit pretty much the whole bottom of it. I really should have put this on stitch holders so I could show you on barber cords. But yeah, this is how it's going. I'll put a picture up here of what the finished item looks like when Andrea Mallory knits it. So yeah, there's a lot of short rows in the back to make the back longer than the front. I chose to omit a bunch of them because I don't want it like here in the front and here in the back. I just want it slightly longer in the back. And that's the only modification I've done so far, I think. I'm knitting it to how long a body she recommended, which just happens to be the length of body that I normally make for myself, which is good. Anyway, not really much I can show you there besides this is how much you knit, and then I'm going to separate and knit the front and back. And I haven't decided if I'm going to make it short sleeved or long sleeved. I would probably wear it more if it was long sleeved, but if I make it short sleeved, then I don't have to knit sleeves. Always a draw. And this project is living in this beautiful bag that I got at Knit City Calgary this past summer. And I love it so much. It is so much happy, S-E-W, much happy. I don't know if you can see that tag there. I had never seen her or her bags or anything like that before, and it's quilted, so it's nice and sturdy, and the fabric she uses is beautiful. The inside is like flowers, but they're all little X's, like they're cross stitch. It's so beautiful. It's got good pockets in it, and yeah, I love it. It was an excellent purchase. I love the colors in it. And of course, it matches, sort of. Okay, that is a width that I am working on. What else do I have? I have one more sweater to show you that you haven't seen, and it's not right beside me. Ugh. Oh, can you see my ass? You're welcome if you can. Okay. Alrighty. So, you also haven't seen this one. I wasn't feeling like knitting sweaters for a while, and I just went with it. And then, then I cast on the Nebula sweater, and then I cast on this sweater, and then I forgot about the Nebula sweater. So, partly the reason why I wanted to knit this sweater so much is because I'm pretty sure I showed on my last podcast, the knit night that I go to, we have a yarn swap at the end, like the last knit night that we have before Christmas. Everybody brings as much yarn as they want to give away, and then you get to choose that many skeins of yarn to take. And my friend Nicole brought a sweater quantity of hand spun yarn that her mom had spun, and I took it all. As soon as she dropped it on the table, I was like, mine. So apologies to all the ladies in my knit night because I don't know, maybe my behavior wasn't appropriate, but I really wanted it. Thankfully, they were all kind enough to allow me to take all of them. That was very nice of them to do. So anyway, as soon as I got that yarn, it's all sport weight is what the tags say. And I've been trying to find the tags because I don't know what I did with them. There was a whole bunch of them. She had a tag on every skein saying how many yards it was, but it's all the same color. And I knew I wanted to knit something with it. I was thinking about knitting a traveler with it, but I was like, I already have a traveler. And then I was thinking, I don't know if I want like the entire sweater to be this color because it's quite a dark color, and I don't tend to wear dark things, so I thought, let's give myself a fighting chance of wearing this. So I found some neutral yarn in my stash, and this is what I have come up with. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my goodness. It looks even better on the camera. That never happens. So this beautiful, squishy, multicolor, like it doesn't look multicolor, but it really is. Like, let me see if we can, like it's mostly like reds and greens, but it like combines to make a sort of reddish, purplish, greenish. It looks pretty brown at night, but when you have this beautiful like natural light on it, it is stunning. Oh God, it's so beautiful. So I have multiple skeins of this color. So anyway, when I got it, all the tags on it that she wrote on it said sport weight. So I was looking for a sport weight sweater. And like the very same day or the next day, Melissa Clulo, who is the owner of Sonder Yarn Company, released this free pattern. This pattern is called Hold the Line. Her sample is like a blushy pink and like a chartreusey yellowy green. It's beautiful. But I was like, perfect. She released a sport weight pattern when I was searching for a sport weight pattern, and it was perfect because it has like big giant stripes, so I can use a bunch of this yarn, but then I can use a neutral, so that will kind of like break up the darkness. And oh God, it's so beautiful. I love it. So I've split for sleeves, obviously. I'm just working on the body stripes, and it's going really quickly, so that's good. The yarn I'm using for the neutral stripe is yarn I had in my stash. So I keep telling everyone that I'm making this project for free because I got the hand spun in a yarn swap, so I got that for free. And I already had these skeins in my stash for the natural stripe, so making that for free. It doesn't matter that I paid for these before, or that I like bought however many skeins that I traded for this hand spun. It's still girl math, knitting math. I am knitting this sweater for free. It's basically a free sweater. So I had this in my stash. This is Barocco Lannis Light. It's 100% wool in the colorway Steel Cut Oats. And I had this in my stash because I was making a pressed flowers cardigan with it, which would have been lovely, but I knit about 2 inches of it and then I stalled. And every time I was like, I really need to knit that. I really, really want to have that cardigan. I just couldn't bring myself to knit it. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the slip stitches, like the mosaic knitting, I think is what it's called. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. And I think I had it sitting there for at least a year or two. And so this came along and I was like, I was looking for something else that would go with this color, and I held this up to it and I was like, perfect. And then I started knitting with just this for the neutral stripe, and it wasn't quite thick enough. This is a sport weight, it did say sport weight on the tags of the hand spun, but it's a little, some of it is a little thicker. So I decided to hold mohair together with this, and it's working perfectly. This hand spun also on the tags, which it's really driving me crazy that I can't find the tags. There's so many of them. I wonder if they might be back there in my cubes. But anyway, I know that part of the fiber that she knit, or that she spun this with, is partly mohair. So it has a tiny bit of a halo. See if you can see I don't know if you can see that halo. So this has a bit of a halo, and like, honestly, any excuse for me to use mohair is good enough for me. So This mohair that I had in my stash, I have 2 skeins of this. I bought it at Espace Tricot when I was in Montreal in 2023 for Knit City Montreal. And it was just a, like, they have some yarns that they just dye in-house. So it was just Espace Tricot. It didn't even have a label on it. It was just something that they had dyed. So it is dyed. It's just a really, like, neutral. It has a little bit of a pink is sort of pink leaning. If you compare those two, you can see that. But yeah, I held that up to this, and I held this up to this, and I was like, boom, done. And off I went. I haven't knit a raglan sweater for quite a while. I've been on a massive drop sweater kick for quite a while. So it's kind of fun, just how fast you can see progress when you're knitting a raglan sweater. I gotta admit. So yeah, last view. I have a feeling that she's gonna be done before the next podcast. I'm a little concerned about the aggressive folded collar. This handspun is so like thick and squishy that this collar feels a little out of control, but hopefully, like, once I put it on and block it, it won't, like, I just don't want it to be like, that should probably be my thumbnail for this video. So anyway, oh, it's beautiful. I can't thank Nicole enough for bringing that yarn to our yarn swap. And I'm gonna have tons left over, so I'm gonna have to find something else to knit with it too. I'm considering making a vest with it, like the Cambridge vest by Tanis Lavalley, maybe. I'll put a picture of that up here. I think that would be really nice. But all in the handspun, so I don't know. I think that would be really nice. And this project is living in this awesome bag. It is tie-dyed, obviously. It was made by Wild Strands, handcrafted. And I don't think that they make bags anymore, but I will try to find a link and put it down below if I can find one. I don't think they make them anymore. Yeah, that's all I've got for whips. 3 pretty main whips that I've been working on. Okay, I have a few acquisitions. And when I mean a few, when I say a few, I mean a fuck ton. In my defense, some of them were gifts, some of them were like gift cards, and some of them I just wanted to buy, okay? So leave me alone. No, don't leave me alone. Stay with me, be my friend. Okay, so first of all, for Christmas, my hair is driving me crazy, sorry. It's very staticky, it's very dry in this part of the world. Like I said, I asked for a granny square blocker and I got one. So it's pretty basic. It's this, it's got a bunch of these. It's got, there's like a velvet bag over there that has like a whole bunch of these rods in it. And there's some that are really long and there's some that are really short. And each of the holes is like 1/2 inch apart. So you can measure how big you want your square to be, and yeah, it works pretty good. I think my husband just got it on Amazon. I sent him the link for the one, what is it? Is it Katya, I think, makes one? I'll put the link down below. But he chose to go the cheaper route, which is fine because a piece of wood with rods sticking out is a piece of wood with rods sticking out. I don't care how much he spent on it. He also gave me an embroidery kit. This is Mount Rundle, which is close to us. It's out in the Banff area. And yeah, it is a lot of satin stitch. I'm just saying. It is really pretty, and I'll make it, and I'll probably, I'm thinking I would probably take this out to our cabin and hang it up there. Or maybe I would hang it up on my wall full of pictures and stuff. We'll see. And I also, whoa, sorry about that. I also got the Doodle Knit Directory book for Christmas by Jamie Lomax. It is, I don't really want to open it up and show it to you because it is full of charts, but it is just lots and lots of different color work charts that you can mix and match, and there's little patterns in there that you can insert them into. There's mittens and socks and a scarf and a cowl, just all kinds of, I think there's a hat in there too, I can't remember. So lots and lots and lots of different really pretty color work charts in there. What else did I get any more gifts? My husband gave me a gift card for Polka Dot Creek. Very smart man. And I used it already. I actually had it in my possession for like one day because he gave it to me on Christmas, and then Shelly had a sale on Boxing Day, so I spent it. I got, yay! I got a sweater quantity of DK in the colorway Forest, which is rich and gorgeous and luscious. And I am going to make, look at how beautiful those are. I'm going to make the Woolly Waffle sweater by Stephen West. That is my plan of what I'm going to make with that. Oh. I'll put a picture up here of the pattern picture. That is of Stephen West wearing it like really long and whatever. Mine's not gonna be really long and stuff. It's gonna be my regular kind of cropped-ish length. I really enjoyed making this waffle texture. Someone's ringing my doorbell. Okay, sorry, someone just rang my doorbell, and it was just somebody selling something. I don't want any. Leave me alone, I'm talking about knitting. Anyway, I was talking about, I really enjoyed knitting this waffle texture, and I like it. It's simple, it's easy to knit, but it's a little bit more visually interesting than just like a stockinette sweater, which I love, don't get me wrong. But I also have a sweater in my wardrobe. Sorry, I'm really out of breath because I just ran back up the stairs. Okay. I have a sweater in my closet that I bought at Walmart for like, I don't know, 15 bucks or something. And it is that like forest green, and it is waffle knit, whatever. It's basically the Woolly Waffle by Stephen West. But machine knit by probably someone getting paid not enough. So every time I put that on, I feel guilty. Not guilty, but I feel like I can knit this. Why haven't I knit this? And then I can be proud of wearing it because I knit it, so. Okay, so I also got my Tanis Fiber Arts yarn calendar, which you can see over there. I love it. I get one every year. This year I was smart enough to ask for it for Christmas, so I didn't have to pay for it myself. It's not expensive. I was just like trying to think of things that people could buy me when they asked me for my list. I love it. I love my Tanis Fiber Arts yarn calendars. I get one every year. I think I just said that. My brain is fried today, apparently. What else did I get? Granny Blocker embroidery kit. Okay. Are you ready for this? My mom. Oh my God, my mom. Hi, Mom, by the way. My mom gave me some unbelievably amazing project bags. You're not even ready, you guys. Okay, number 1. She knows how much I love Tula Pink, and I love all the bright colors in the Tula Pink. So she made me this. It's a drawstring bag. She said it's some sort of fancy Japanese style bag, but I don't know. I love it. Look at the cute little raccoons. They're so cute when they're pretend. They're a real fucking pain in the ass when in real life, but and it's got like the rainbow birds and stuff inside. I love that. She's put that in the inside of a few things that she's made me because I love it so much. So there's that one. Oh, so gorgeous. And she made me, oh, I didn't show you. Inside that, she gave me little like notions pouches with the same fabrics that she made with the bag. Oh my God, look at their faces on the bottom. Come on. So super cute. And then she gave me this one, which is, I love this. I love the skull and the butterfly and the bright, oh, it's so pretty. And this one is one of those wire doctor bags, so when you open it, it stays open. It's propped open. And another little notions bag inside with the matching fabric, like, oh, so good. And it's got little handles on the side. So pretty. And yes. And she made me, check this out. She made me a fanny pack, whatever you call them. Belt bag, I think is the proper term for them. Isn't it cute? And it's like this, like, I don't know how she like attaches those things. Oh, it's so pretty. I've had a lot of my stuff just up here in piles in my knitting room for a while. So I need to take this down to where I keep my daily, like my purse and all that kind of stuff. Put my wallet in it. So yeah, thank you, Mom. I love it all. And I can confirm that she did enjoy the cowl that I made her, the frame your face cowl with the spin cycle. Oh, so pretty. It was so pretty. Maybe I can actually put a picture up here now because she has it. If anyone didn't see when I showed it before, so then maybe they can see it now. Okay, and then, oh yeah, after Christmas, my parents also gave us like money for Christmas, and I used my half of the money to buy a puzzle board. Because I love making puzzles, and like every time we go to the cabin, there's some puzzles there, and I make the same puzzles over and over again, and I have no problem with it. I love it. One of Dave's cousins, when we were out at the cabin over the holidays, had a puzzle, and I was like, I loved making it. And I was like, I'm fine. I'm gonna, like, since we moved into this house, we've been in this house for almost a year. There's enough space. We have a lot of space in our living room now. There's enough space to have like a table where I can put a puzzle and work on a puzzle. So I ordered myself a puzzle board. I'm gonna put a picture up here. And it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a cheaper one. It's just made out of felt, so it's pretty light. But it has like little sorting trays that you can take out and sort all your colors in, and it's got a stand so that it like tilts it up so you're not like breaking your neck sitting over, like bending your back and like hunching over the table. I love it. I love it. So yeah, so now I'm gonna spend all my money on yarn and puzzles, I guess. Mom, I know you're watching this. I need to come and raid your puzzle stash. My grandma, who is 95, has been a puzzle enthusiast for decades. And my mom always buys her puzzles, and they trade puzzles, and like, so my grandma will do them, my mom will do them, and she has them all organized. Like, these are puzzles that Gigi has done, and these are puzzles that Gigi and my mom have done, and there's like, it's all, anyway, I need to go raid that stash because, yeah, I'm gonna go broke if I keep buying myself puzzles. Anyway, enough about puzzles. Last weekend I went to the Creekside Yarn Festival, which sadly it was the last one that they're doing, but the reason they're not doing it anymore is, I should say, the Creekside Yarn Festival is run by Shelly and Penny. Shelly is the owner of Polka Dot Creek, and Penny is Shelly's mom, and they've been putting it on for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I think. But Shelly and Polka Dot Creek, they now have a store in Cochrane as well as their flagship store in Airdrie. And the store in Cochrane has an upstairs area where they can set up tables and have markets and stuff. So they're just going to do them there from now on, just a little bit smaller scale. So anyway, I really wanted to go and support the Creekside Festival. And I didn't break the bank. I knew that I have lots of stash at home, so I didn't really, but, well, I did buy a little yarn. Oh my god, I kicked the stupid tripod again. Anyway, I actually purchased this before the Creekside Festival, but she made them available at the Creekside Festival. Shelly's daughter, Allie, is Allie & Co. Creations, and she makes t-shirts and stickers and all kinds of fun things. And she made these. So there was some that said knit and some that said crochet. Sorry, it's a little wrinkly because I washed it and it was in my drawer and I had to pull it out. There you go, knit right across the boobs. So it's really, really cute. It's really nice and soft. It's the canvas, like Bella canvas, the ones that you can, the t-shirts that you can get at Michael's. They're really, really nice and soft. So that was really cute. And I, of course, went to visit Lolly, my dear friend Lolly, at Ocean Loops. And she had this beautiful set that I couldn't resist. These hearts that she does are, I'm so obsessed with them. I have, this one's like a really light, like minty blue, like these. And I have a really light pink one from last year, and I love them. They're like one of my very, very favorites. I have a lot of Lolly's stitch markers, and they're all so beautiful. These ones are, I love them so much. So this one is a progress keeper, so it opens, and these ones are fixed rings, and they're all just beautiful. It's called Tropical Love is the name of this set. And so my first stop always, of course, is the Polka Dot Creek booth at the Creekside Yarn Festival. And Shelly had shown these in her podcast that she released like just before, the week before the festival. She made these special yarn bouquets, and she's using all the money from selling these yarn bouquets in particular. And there's also a self-striping colorway that has these colors in it. She's using all of that money to save up for a bigger, more beautiful, more amazing space for their dye studio and shop. The shop in Airdrie is where they do all the dyeing. It's, when she moved in there, it was big enough, and it hasn't been big enough for a really long time. Shelly dyes a shit ton of yarn now. Her quantity levels have gone up significantly since she moved into that space, and it's very full and she needs a bigger space. So she's trying to save up her money and try and find a bigger space, and so she she dyed these yarn bouquets to fundraise for a bigger space. So these are called Dream because it is her dream to have a really nice big dye space. So I got 2 of them. One is for me and one is for one of you. That's right, one of these, well, this one or this one, I don't know which one, they're the same, is going to be yours. Well, one of you, one lucky viewer. This is going to belong to you. After my last my Sweet Shop blanket video, after that, I gained a bunch of new subscribers. So now I'm up over 2,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. I hope you stick around. And also on Instagram, I recently went up over 3,000 subscribers. No, followers. So many different social media words. Yeah, so I want to give one of these away to all of you as a thank you for putting up with my bullshit and listening to me ramble and lose my train of thoughts, and for saying hi to me when you see me. When I got to Creekside Festival, I paid my entry fee, and the first person I saw said, "Hi, you're Melissa from Stitches Be Slippin'. I love your podcast so much." Anyway, she was so kind, and she had so many lovely, kind things to say to me, and it fills my bucket. My love language is words of affirmation, so I love it when people tell me that they love me and that they love my podcast, and it means so much to me. So thank you so much, Natasha. I'm pretty sure I remember your name. Thank you so much for coming up to me and saying that. It really, really, truly made my day. I had a few other people stop me and say hi and say that they enjoy watching me. So I really, really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching and enjoying it, I guess. So yeah, I did not think about this ahead of time, but if you want to enter yourself into the giveaway to win the Dreams yarn bouquet, I don't know, just drop me a note down below. Just remember that words of affirmation are my love language, and drop me a comment down below. And I will announce the winner on the next episode. Yappity yap yap. Okay, so I am going to, that is all the knitting content, that is all the yarn, etc. that I'm going to be talking about. So, Darren, you can come back in, you can re-enter the chat, and I will talk about general life stuff. Yeah, we had Christmas. We had about 15 different Christmases. We had Christmas with my family, we had Christmas with Dave's family. We then went out to our cabin, and we had another Christmas with more family that lives out there. It was really nice. We went out to our cabin and just chilled out for like a week. It was amazing. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that my dad showed up to Christmas wearing a sweater that I had knit him a few years before, and I had completely forgotten about it. And he showed up and he was wearing this like really nice black, like dark gray black sweater with like these gorgeous cables down the front, and I was like, wow, oh, I made that sweater. I was so excited, like I almost cried. Yeah, I took a picture of him wearing it because I was so excited, and I don't know if he's gonna want me to put his picture on here, but I will ask him, and if he gives me permission, I will put it up here, but I don't know if he will. But rest assured, it looked so good on him. And it just made me so happy. Yeah, and then when we got home, we went back, like the kids went back to school. And if you've been here, you know that I really like to start off the school year like with something really fun and exciting. At the beginning of this school year, I went and had my IUD removed and got a new IUD put in. So that was fun. And so this time after the winter break, the very first week, I think it was the second day that they were back at school, I had a colonoscopy. So your girl knows how to party. Yeah, I've had one before. My family has a long, rich history of colon cancer, so We are very aware. We do a regular testing, and yeah, everything was fine. Results were good, all good. The colonoscopy prep is always a joyous experience. I only pooped my pants twice, just FYI. I thought that was pretty good. Our new house, we love our new house. We have a lot more space in our new house, so things are a little bit farther apart. So I had a lot farther to go to get to the bathroom. So yeah, I was like, when we get older, we might have to rethink this layout. Anyway, that was a lot of too much information there. Anyway, when I went to get my procedure done, I was just laying in the bed waiting for the room to open where they do the procedures. And the nurse, my nurse, she had, I think we had like, the amount of conversation that we had was like, do you have any allergies? What medications are you on? Blah, blah, blah. That was all that kind of stuff. And then she was sitting on her computer, like sort of at the end of my bed to the side. We were just waiting for the room to open. And I was like sitting there crocheting. I was making granny squares for my blanket, just happily waiting. And she looks over at me and she starts talking about Trump. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, she was saying bad things about Trump. Thank God. But at the same time, I was just like, listen, Linda, I'm already about to get it up the ass. I do not want to talk about Donald fucking Trump right now, okay? Just like, chill out. Yeah. So after that, I didn't actually say that to her, obviously, because I'm a kind person. But anyway, the whole procedure went fine. And then not too long after that, a few days after that, my older son was playing in a hockey game and he went headfirst into the boards at a fairly high rate of speed. And so then he had a headache and his neck hurt, and there's this whole concussion protocol with Hockey Canada. So there's like this form that the manager had to fill out, and then he wasn't allowed back on the ice, and he wouldn't be allowed back on the ice until the doctor had signed off on the form. So I had to take him to the doctor, and like the headache went away right away. It was like before he even got undressed from the game, he didn't have a headache anymore, but his neck was sore. So the doctor was like, he doesn't have a concussion, but I would like you to get an x-ray on his neck. So then I had to, like, I get it. We have to be safe. We have to make sure that he's healthy and not injured and not going in and playing injured and all that kind of stuff. He was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. He did not have a concussion. He did not have a broken neck. Like, he was like, it hurts when I go like this. I'm like, yeah, because your muscles hurt because you went into the boards like that. Anyway, he did have to be off hockey for a week, but it was fine. And then he played there's a huge hockey tournament every year in Calgary. I think it's just in Calgary, called the SO Minor Hockey Week. And it's a pretty big deal. And his team went to the finals, and unfortunately they lost in the finals 1-0. So that was a pretty big heartbreaker. But yeah, you don't learn anything from winning all the time, right? That's right, Melissa. You don't. Anyway, yes, those were all the things that I had to talk about. I'm gonna have to go and edit the shit out of this video because there was a lot of just me staring off into space and not remembering what I was gonna say. If you're new here, I hope that you got something out of this video. I don't feel like this was one of my best, but my brain is in a weird space today. Today is January 22nd, and the last the last few days have been a lot for my brain to process. So my brain's a little bit of a ping pong, ping, ping, ping pong, ping, 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 and I am medicated. So I hope you'll stick around, stick with it. Watch maybe some of my previous episodes that might be a little bit better than this one. I don't know. I'm not going to do it again. There's like a full 10 seconds earlier in this video that I'm going to edit out where I am sitting there thinking, this isn't very good. I should probably just re-record this whole thing, but I'm not going to. So sorry. Life isn't perfect and neither is my podcast. So welcome to the rambling portion of my episode where I would like to sign off and start doing other things, but I am socially awkward even when I'm alone and don't know how to say goodbye. So thank you for watching. That sounded very disingenuous. I really do thank you for watching, and I hope you'll stick around. Thank you so much to everyone who has stuck around there. I have so many people who have been with me since the beginning, and I love you all. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.